Welcome back. Today I want to discuss shooting sports portraits, how to get into it, how it is that you do it, how you make money doing it. Currently in the middle of doing all the sports portraits for the local high school. Did the first round on Monday, shoot again tomorrow, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll shoot again. So I've already delivered, I think it was 3 different teams, so sales are coming in on those. So today I wanted to show you my process of getting these gigs, getting ready for them, how I shoot them, how I deliver them. Let's get into it. Getting these sports portrait gigs. It's through high schools or middle schools, the local schools, stuff like that. You're going to want to kind of start early, usually start beginning of summer. Then you'll want to be reaching out to them. You usually get a response more in August when all the administrators start kind of coming back to school. But the way that I did it is I didn't focus on the large cities. I focused on all the smaller towns around the area. Fortunately for me, I've got tons of small towns that have smaller high schools, smaller middle schools, and they have less options for photographers in the area. We're in a larger town like Omaha. There's tons and tons of photographers, a lot of them that have been very established into those schools. But you want to have a good portfolio put together showing that you can do fantastic portraits. Show them what it is you can do, have your plan in place. All right, so you got the job, you got the contract with whatever school it is that you're going to be shooting. What you need to figure out is how do you want to shoot them? Myself, I have a lot of experience with studio photography, so I knew I wanted to incorporate that. I wanted to do off-camera flash, nice solid black background. So the first thing I did was I set up to do some test shots. You set up to do the test shots to figure out what it is you want to do with your lighting, what poses to use. The reason that I'm focusing so much on where the lighting and the poses are before I'm even doing this is because that lighting can't move. I don't have the time to be able to move my lighting around. So I need to have my lighting set, and then I need to figure out the poses that are going to work with that light setup. I'm going to show you what it is that I draw up beforehand so that I'm ready to go when I get to location. Okay, so this here is just the diagram of what it was that I was using. This is what I kind of build together doing the test shots. You've got the camera, you've got stands. This is a Godox 8200, another 8200, and this is, I believe it's called a QRP 90. It's kind of like a parabolic style softbox. I have that dead overhead on top of them. So these lines here, this is the line for the forward-facing position. These are the lines for the sideways position. Now, on here I don't have it all numbered out, but generally what I'm going to do is I am going to measure all of my distances. I'm going to measure from here, I'm going to measure over, and measure down. So this is going to give me all of my different measurements between here. So that way I'm able to have it as a constant setup and I don't have to change anything. So then I have written down on there every camera setting I need, every power setting to the strobes. So when I get there, everything's ready to go. Each photo will then be consistent and easy to edit. What I don't want to do is get there and have to mess around with my lighting. Now when I do get there and set up, I have an assistant that is with me. I do of course put her out there, fire a couple shots just to make sure that everything is working correctly. Yeah, that's how it is that I get myself ready to do these sports shots. So that again, when I come in, it's nice and easy, quickly to set up, and then start funneling them through. I do 5 poses each. My assistant helps them with the poses as I make sure that they are dead on with the center. The little marks on the floor definitely help with getting them positioned for the forward-facing poses and that slight sideways pose. But with those poses, with the 5 poses that we set up and we do for this, it works with the 2 light setup. You've got the overhead one that's giving that nice butterfly effect on their face, and then I've just got a little kicker rim light that'll light them up on the side here, and when they turn, lights them up on the back. Just helps with the separation. The background is just a solid black background, which then in Capture One, when I'm editing, I do put a mask on to bring it down just slightly so I get a nice solid black background, which looks fantastic in sports portraits. And then once I'm finished with all the photos, of course, I'm back here at the office, get them all uploaded into Capture One. I set a new session for each sport, football, cross country, and cheer. That's what I did on Monday. The edits are pretty easy. I actually have a preset that is made for this exact setup. I apply the preset, I make sure everything looks good, I make sure the levels are good. And I do that just on the first photo. And then I'm able to just copy it and apply it to all of the photos. Then I go through each photo and I set the crop. Because I'm shooting on a tripod, so people's height differences are going to kind of change where the framing is. So I just adjust the crop in it, but at the same time, I'm also just making sure that each one of those photos that the exposure is set correctly. But for the most part, the editing is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. Get it done, export them, upload them to my CRM. The links get posted online into community areas. The school sends out a text with the link as well. Parents are then able to go online to the gallery and they can pay to download the photos. They can order prints. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Once it's done and uploaded and the link is out there, you just sit back, let people make their orders. I think a lot of people, and even me, when I first started doing this, was a little intimidated by the idea of shooting multiple different portraits in one day. But when you've got a system figured out, when you can set up all of your equipment and have, like as I showed, have a diagram that it's easy to set it up, you're not messing around with trying to adjust lighting, adjust any of your camera settings. Everything is ready to go. And if you don't have an assistant, that's fine. Just know your poses, help them out. Maybe consider having some poses that are a little easier to describe to somebody when you're standing behind the camera. Or you can even remote it. There's no need to be standing with your camera because it's sitting on a tripod the entire time. You could stand off to the side with them, show them the poses, step back, fire the photo. For me, I do have an assistant that comes with, which is very nice, helps out a lot, helps with the flow real quick. We can get through, I think we got through football in about 40 minutes. And that's 5 poses for each student. And I think there was only 35 on their team. But that's pretty quick, in my opinion. I think that was pretty quick. I think we were over there for 2 or 3 hours to do football, cross country, and cheer. Tomorrow we'll be doing volleyball, and then Monday, Tuesday we'll do the middle school. But yeah, hope that kind of gives you an idea on doing sports portrait for schools. It's a great little filler work to do for me. Obviously, I'm a wedding photographer. Actually, I have a ton of weddings coming up. I had a little bit of a break there, so I was doing some of the senior stuff and these sports portraits, but now it's right back to weddings. I have weddings for the next 3 weeks, have a couple weeks off, and then for the next 8 weeks or so to end out the season. So yeah, I've got quite a few weddings left to shoot this year. But I hope you enjoyed. Hope it gave you some information that maybe you'll be able to use and get out there. Shoot some sports portraits. They're a lot of fun. I always forget how much I enjoy shooting in a controlled environment like that. Until next time.